Hello, hello. Today in this video, I want to talk with you about the Live Red Manifesto. So the manifesto is something that I have on my website, and I am calling it the guiding compass on our journey to Live Red. And I have this guiding compass because living red isn't something that you just decide you want to make a change and you're going to do this, and this, and then you're going to be living red, excited, passionate, engaged in your life, and you're set forever. You've done these steps, and then forever you'll have a life that feels like you're living red. It's not something that you can just set it and forget it. Living red is something that is really having kind of this intention for your life and how you want to live, how you want to feel in your life. And it's not always going to be the same. So what helps you live red today isn't going to be the same thing for you a year from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. What fits today isn't always going to be the right fit going forward. So living red, having this manifesto as our guiding compass is a way for us to check in with ourselves on the journey of living red, to help us stay on the path. So even as life is happening and things are shifting and changing, having the manifesto there as a kind of a checkpoint for us helps make sure that while we're making changes, while we're making different choices and life is changing, that we are staying true to those Live Red principles to help us, maintain that engaged and connected and passionate feeling in our life. So the manifesto, it's a set of 10 guiding principles, and really it focuses on the core pieces of what living red is and how we can make sure that we're living red in each day of our lives. So the manifesto talks about things like creating boundaries. And, that can feel like it's something that's really hard to do, especially when you're, really caring and giving woman. Having boundaries can feel like you're setting up this wall and you're saying no to somebody that you care about and that you love. And, my philosophy on boundaries is that they're not walls, they're guiding pathways that people, that you're giving to people to stay on so that you could have a really, successful relationship with them, and without the guiding pathway, you're in the danger zone of creating resentment and frustration, which is really hurting your relationship. So it feels like you're doing the right thing by saying yes, but sometimes you're actually doing the wrong thing if it's building resentment and frustration. So I talk about boundaries on the manifesto to kind of keep us in check as we're thinking about boundaries and creating boundaries in our lives. The other things on the manifesto are things around appreciating the small things in life, not waiting for the big things in life in order to feel excited and engaged and connected. So it's really about being more mindful of the everyday moments and paying attention to them, seeing them, and not waiting for, the big events, vacations and promotions and, things like that in order to have that excitement. It's really just kind of engaging in those everyday moments and being open to seeing them and embracing them. Another thing on the manifesto that I talk about is on our journey to live red and have a well-lived life, focusing on connections versus accomplishments. So, a lot of times we're kind of in this race to check boxes off in our life and to accomplish things, get that new job, get that bigger new house, whatever it is. We have kind of an accomplishment mindset. If I just get this one thing, I will feel happy. And usually it does, it works for a little while. We do feel happy. We got that accomplishment. But then that fades away. And what's really going to keep us full and feeling, excited, connected, and engaged and passionate on a regular basis is the connections that we're building in our life. So kind of moving away from focusing, really on those accomplishments to focusing on the connections, so that when we look back on our lives, 30, years down the road, when we look back, we're looking at, we're remembering the connections, the experiences, the things that we did together in our lives, the people that we loved. We're really not going to be thinking about, all the cars that you had, all the promotions that you got. And again, those are exciting things in life, but they're not what's going to be that measurement of a life well lived. So principles like that are on the manifesto. So there's 10 guiding principles that we can use to check in with ourselves on the journey towards living red to make sure that we're on the right path. I'd love for you to check it out. So it's on the website under the section for the manifesto. And I really just welcome you to kind of go through all 10 and check in with yourself and see, what feels like you're already kind of using that principle in your life. And then which ones feel like maybe they haven't quite been a part of your life up till now. And just think about what it would be like if you started using that as a guiding principle. What might be different? So that is it for today. I'll be having more videos talking about living red. So I hope that you will join me.